And we are live. Hello, everyone. Happy New Year's Eve. A quiet day is expected. We'll wait for some people to get in here. Who's that, Cena? I'm trying to remember the screen names versus real names. All right. So it's obviously a light volume day. I'm just going live just to say hello, go over some charts. I know I have one to go over for fellow member Pat, who's, hey, Cena, just testing my memory. Pat's watching Mara, and we'll take a look at that chart. I think it's going lower. I would be careful about talking yourself into a trade with that stock. I mentioned yesterday when I was asked to go over the chart that I thought it was going lower. It is going lower, and I think it's still going to go lower. So avoid. If you get a rally one day, rally doesn't make a trend. It's up over 60% on the month. Do I think it can go down about 30%? Yep, I do. And not off the highs, right from where it is right now. So, Big Bear, Happy New Year's Eve to you. MacArthur, good to have you here. Okay, so I'm watching the GDXJ, which had a really, really good day yesterday. But today, it's giving some back. This is a 4-hour chart. And we have, at current, a breakout point failure, meaning we broke out yesterday. Now we gave it back. So we did not hold the support level at around, let's call it 54, 57. Now, this bar closes in about 13 minutes. It's going to be difficult to get a rally back above the support level. It's a very light volume day. It's not impossible. I'd like to see it close above 54, 57. The reason why we're seeing this weakness today is the dollar, last I looked anyway, was pretty bullish. Yeah. So it's only added to gains since the last time I looked at it. And we were talking about this yesterday, that we had multiple breakouts on the US dollar. One here which failed, one here which failed. We broke out yet again. This time we have a follow through. So what is that doing? That's putting pressure on gold, silver, the miners. Folks, this is an opportunity to add or open to positions. I may be adding more to our GDX trade as soon as today. SILJ trade, that's the silver miners, as soon as today. That has a weekly breakout. So I don't believe that this dollar rally is going to be long-lived. And I think 2021 is going to be especially bearish for the dollar. In fact, we are not even back above a 90 handle on the Dixie. The fact that we have an 80 handle on the Dixie is psychologically damaging to the US dollar, especially if we close out the year with an 80 handle. So what was support at 90 right here is now going to act as resistance. So I'm fairly confident that this is going to be a short-lived rally. You never know, but fairly confident that current is going to be a short-lived rally, and that gold and silver, this will be a buying opportunity. In fact, at last look, gold was still up. It's given up a lot of gains, but the inverted head and shoulders setup that we've been looking at for quite some time now, here's your left shoulder. I think I mentioned this yesterday. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder. Here's the neckline. We want to see a breakout above that mark and then expect a rip-roaring rally on gold. I'd like to see gold close out the year above 1900. That would be psychologically helpful. So we'll watch it. Again, it's a light volume day. Everything's easily manipulated today. So anything can happen. We want to keep an open mind. MacArthur, #QS is killing me. QS, what's QS? Ooh, I don't know this company, but yeah, it's it's had a heck of a run. This is the signal right here to get out. This reversal bar. This is what it's all about. I like to use the 30-minute or 15-minute chart, and you take a look at these lower highs, put your trend line out there, you start breaking down to lower lows, you should get out. Yeah, this is going down lower. I would not be a buyer here. Looks like 73.17 per share is probably the next support level. We filled the gap here. They tried to defend it, but it was rejected and broke. So not time to buy this one yet. And you could see back here you had what RSI was at 85. Not horribly overbought, but overbought nonetheless. Weekly chart, rough. Rough week. I should have stopped out half yesterday, but I bit the bullet today. All right, fine. Fine. You bit the bullet. Do this to yourself. The problem is that most people don't do that. So I'm not sure if you made a profit or you took a loss. You bit the bullet. I mean, you put it perfectly. So don't beat yourself up. Don't beat yourself up. You made the call. Inaction's the worst thing to do when it comes down to a stock that's giving up gains like this. Rocket. Yeah, the Rocket pulled back today. It's such a bitch of a stock, to be honest with you. It's coming off the lows a bit here. Let's bring up our friends over at TrendSpider. They still have a 50% sale. Use the link below. Automated technical analysis. I still like Rocket here. Even though we're down on the day, we're down on the week. What we're doing is, let's get rid of the sidebar. Is we are holding support. What I'd be looking for next week is a breakout to new weekly highs. And when I think things are going to get real fast with Rocket Mortgage to the upside is when we finally close above 2250. This is saying 2225. I like 2250 better. Around that neighborhood. And then ultimately up here, when we get through, remember, we have a W formation forming here. Here's the pivot point. The high is at 22.99. So once we break and close above 23 bucks a share, I think that we break through a lot of this resistance that's been holding the shares down. It's been very strange the way this stock has been trading. We've been holding on to it. At times I've been thinking about selling covered calls. I decided against it. I think that we're going to have a breakout fairly soon, assuming that this market holds in there. Now, the daily chart, we broke out yesterday, and this is a concern. We really need to close back above 2072. I don't want to see these shares close back down below the support level, because that would be a breakout point failure or a bull trap. So, I'm not going to see. I own the shares. I'm not going to speak my book. I wouldn't buy these shares here. Not right now. I'd wait to see how we are poised to close out the day if we rally back. I don't care if we close down. I just want to see that we hold this breakout point in red. I don't want to see us close down below it. Warning flag on the track if we do. So, who asked about rockets? Cena, I would not be a buyer here right now if you're looking at it. I would wait. I'd rather pay a bit more to enter the trade for the confidence of the fact that it's holding support levels, rather than hoping that it holds the support level by the end of the day. So wait, what's the price point again? 2075, thereabouts. Here, I'm going to send this out here. How do we do the print? Here we go. There you go. All right, I'm going to go over Mara now. I don't know if Pat's on. Hey, Chinner. Happy New Year to you, too. Nice to her. Hello, sir. All right, let's talk about Mara. Apparently, this is the stock du jour. Is Pat on? Okay, so it's rallied back a bit since I last looked at it. Period moving average is acting as support. My concerns about the stock aren't it's not the daily chart. It's more the weekly chart. We're coming off of very overbought levels on Mara. Even on a monthly time frame, we're still trading above the third standard deviation Bollinger Band. The top of this volume shelf is at 965. You close down below 965. I think you're coming down to a 7 handle on it. I know people don't want to hear that. The reason why I like that level is because that's where we opened up a gap. Now, there are a couple of ways to trade this. If you're chomping at the bit and you're looking for a way to play it, but you're disciplined enough not to catch a falling knife right now, because that's what you'd be doing unless we close above 10.55 per share. We're breaking down here. We're making lower highs and lower lows. It's a fact. So it's in correction mode, and that's what happens. Stocks correct. They go up, they go down. The question is when's the right time to add or enter? Right here, right now is not a time where I'd be entering. I think you need a bit more consolidation, a pullback, a retest of some of these support levels. A way to play it, sell naked puts. That's a way to play it. You don't want to be naked. Sell a put, buy a put deep out of the money. So at least you're bringing in some cash flow in case the shares are not put to you. But whatever strike that you sell, I think they only sell the monthlies. I already looked. I think they sell in dollar increments. Hey, thank you very much for the super chat. Appreciate that. MicroStrategy up from analysis 3 weeks ago. taking profits to meet year-end goals. Congratulations. Yeah, MacArthur. All right, so MacArthur just wrote an interesting comment. I guess I'm not noticing the stocks are overbought. Still a beginner, contrarian by nature. The thing about being, looking at stocks that are overbought, quote unquote, it's a very loosely used term. Overbought, oversold. People love to use those terms as a rationale of when to short a stock or buy a stock. The most egregious times that people use overbought, oversold are when, this is not a great example, because Mara pretty much, when it gets overbought on Stokes, does a double top and rolls over. But if you take a look at charts of, what's a good one? AMD, I guess. I mean, you could stay overbought on AMD stochastics for a great period of time. I mean, especially on a weekly time frame. I mean, the last time we went down below 20 or near 20 on Stokes weekly time frame on AMD was back in October. And anybody who would have shorted AMD when Stokes became overbought here in July, quote unquote, according to Technical Analysis for Dummies back in July of 2020, if you went short back then, you would have had your face ripped off. So my definition of overbought is when you have RSI trading above 85, 90. Then I'm looking at it as a short. We just did this with U.S. Steel and St. Joe. I mean, U.S. Steel went overbought. I technically shorted too early, to be honest with you on this. I should have made more on this trade. We saw RSI above 87, and we were short. And St. Joe, I think we nailed this one right on the head. We shorted right here with RSI above 90. So the reason why I choose those points is because, not so much because of RSI. That's the reason why I'm looking at it. That's my strategy for the whys behind I want to short a stock. It's unsustainable, and that's how I'm arriving at that conclusion. The question is when, because look at the volume here, good up volume bars. When does a small guy like me have a chance against big guys that could generate those big up volume bars? And the way to do that is you need to not simply use RSI and volume. You need to go out, use your higher level charts, meaning weekly charts, monthly charts, and we shorted right here, right where there was historical resistance going all the way back to 2007. Sellers of like mind were at that price point. So it made sense. Okay, I have RSI above 90, and I have resistance just hit, massive resistance, just hit, last seen since the financial crisis. The time was right. So we nailed this one. I think we did 12% in 24 hours. We nailed it. Oh, I got another super chat. Thank you very much. Happy New Year to you. MacArthur, thank you, sir. Appreciate that. So don't worry about being a beginner. We all make mistakes. You learn. That's all. Looking at the higher level view charts is so important. It's called multi-time frame analysis. You want to identify where a stock has been to appreciate where it might be going. It helps improve your odds. So don't be reluctant to step back, take a breath, look at the monthly charts, weekly charts as well. And you'll notice when I do a chart request, the first thing I do is I pull up usually the monthly chart, sometimes the weekly chart, to get a feel for where it's bend to identify where it may be going. I think longer term, Mara is going a lot higher. But right here, right now, I mean, the easy money's been made. And now you're going to have the people that are going to step in here, probably in a little bit of denial that the stocks may be going to correction. And they're going to buy a little bit too early. Now, if we close above 10.55, we trade there for a couple of days, we hold. You know what? Maybe it's time to nibble on the shares, put a stop loss right below the day's low, and take some risk on. Right now, I wouldn't do it. I would rather wait for these support levels down here to get hit. Khalifa, CLSK. Happy New Year to you too, please. CLSK. Clean Spark Inc. Monster. Big breakout here. RSI confirming. I mean, beautiful monthly chart. Broke out a huge, huge wedge formation. Very nice. Weekly chart. We're extended here on a weekly time frame. Relative to your third standard deviation Bollinger Band in red, we've been there for, this is now the third consecutive week. The probability of it trading there another week drops dramatically. So I would be a bit careful here. But that being said, you know, you take a look at the daily chart. The daily chart looks pretty good. So were I long, I would tighten up stops, maybe use a trailing stop loss order. If you're looking to initiate a trade, I would wait to make sure that we close out the day above this resistance level and not fade on the day. If we hold the breakout, you want to nibble? Okay. If you get a continuation move up higher, set your trailing stop loss, because be aware that while the daily chart looks very, very good, it's probably going up higher, that your weekly chart is a bit frothy. So just be careful. I sold BFT, but now looking for a good entry point to buy back in. Let's take a look. Is this right? Foley. You're welcome. You have a couple of good volume shelves down here. They're going to do battle trying to defend this. Excuse me. Let's go to a daily chart. I remember this one. So what these candlesticks are telling you, I mean, you mentioned that you were a beginner. So when I take a look at candlesticks, they tell you a story, right? It's simply not a down day. What these candlesticks are telling you, they're telling you a story about the behavior of institutional traders and what they're doing, right? They're distributing. And that may sound overly simplistic, but they're taking every opportunity, as noted by these wicks. This is not a wick, but it's a reversal bar, very similar. What they're doing is they're selling strength. This needs to come to an end before you can enter the position, because you have to make the assumption that this is going to continue until it stops, right? At some point in time, there's a finite number of shares and they're going to stop selling. But You got to wait for a good support level. I think that 1475 is a good support level. Perhaps at 1492. And right now, actually, we're at a good support level, but I don't think we're ready yet to go entering. I would watch for a retest of $15 per share. I wouldn't go jumping in with both feet. What ideally you get is this. This is when the market sends you a signal. Just like here, the market sent you a signal, hollow-filled candlestick. The market sent you a signal here, reversal bar. Market sent you another one here, reversal bar. What you want to see, and those are bearish signals by the market. What you want is a bullish signal by the market. What might that look like? What it would look like is this. And the discipline is this. Don't buy before the 3 p.m. hour. I repeat, don't buy before the 3 p.m. hour. These are very volatile stocks. So they may bid the shares up higher. It may look great that first hour of trade. But by the end of the day, you're licking your wounds. The trick is to wait. And ideally, what happens is you get a sell-off to retest support. Hopefully, you overshoot to the downside. But by the end of the day, you've reversed to have recaptured that prior support level. It may be $15 a share, could be $14.50, could be $14.25. I don't know. I'm not that smart. And we need to say that to ourselves every single day. I'm not that smart. The market will tell us when it's time. All we can do is anticipate when we might get a bounce on the shares. And we'll wait for the market signal to flash us a reversal bar. What does that look like? This is a bullish key reversal. This is a bullish key reversal. This is a bullish key reversal. That's what we want. We're clearly not there yet. So I would avoid right now. Relax. Don't feel compelled to buy. Relax. Bide your time and let the shares come to you. That's the secret about trading, is to have the discipline, because the money is made on the buy. The money is made on the buy. As long as you're not chasing, you're not put into a position of having to bite your nails immediately after making the purchase that the shares will continue up higher. There are guys that are very good at doing that. That's momentum trading. When you're starting out, you don't want to do that. You want to use technical analysis. You want to wait for your support levels to get hit. If you're not familiar with how to draw those technical trend lines, simply do this. Get a membership to TrendSpider. Draw your own trend lines. Then test how accurate you are by using the automated trend lines. It's not coming up on here. This is a new stock, AMD. Take your trend lines off, drawings off, do your trend lines, then see how accurate you are with the automated trend lines. So if I had it to do all over again, that's what I would do. And believe me, I wish I had this tool back in the 1990s when I was momentum trading and selling puts. All right, that was a long-winded answer to BFT. I would wait. MacArthur, New York Post and other pubs put out articles about Pentagon releasing UFO info within 180 days. Watch for aerospace boom. You know what? Let's bring up, this is kind of off topic, but I want to take a look at Virgin Galactic. This is one where I purposely ignored after they punted on that last launch. This is getting interesting. I think we're going to add SPCE back to our watch list. I don't think it's done going down yet. But this is one where I would consider. I like to sell puts at times when I have a stock that I really really like, and it's correcting, or even if it's in rally mode, and I want to get in, I just don't want to pay up. Or in a certain situation like this, where you know what, I think there's more downside to be had here, but I want to have a piece of it, so I might sell a 2250 put on this, bring in whatever amount of premium I'll get paid. And by selling a put, it's a bullish play. It's not a bearish play. If you're a bear, you want to buy the put. So I would sell the 2250 put. If it's assigned to me, great. I'll take the shares. I wanted them anyway. But I get them at a discount. So that's one strategy here I might employ. Either the 22s or the 2250s. I already have my weekly trend lines up here. Where's my heat map? No heat map. That's strange. All right, let's do this manually. Oh, there we go. That took a while. Okay. 2317, good support. I like the 2250 strike price on Virgin. Big reversal bar. What a monster. No rush to get involved here. We get down to that 2250 area, $22 a share, I would be seriously entertaining getting long. Oh, good. Good. Enjoy. Are you getting value out of TrendSpider? If so, what's your favorite feature? Hey, Roy, Happy New Year to you too. I love it. I think it's a great tool. Great tool. And they're adding an app for your phone now. That's coming out. I was going back and forth with Dan, who's the founder of TrendSpider, yesterday, and they're coming up with an app for your phone going out to, I think it's probably going to be launched like Q1, Q2 of 2021. They're fast tracking it. All right. If that's it, folks, I'm just going to check back in with, look at Rocket Mortgage. No bounce here. Disappointing. The GDXJ bounce? Nope. It's going lower. Dollar still below 90. Maybe losing a little bit of steam here. Good. That's my favorite feature. They wonder why I don't use VWAP more. And, you know, I like all that stuff, you know, but I like to keep things very, very simple. So the automated trend lines and the heat maps, I don't know if you use the heat maps as well, because what they serve to do is that sometimes with TrendSpider is that they don't do as much in terms of horizontal support levels, but they do have heat maps. Here you can see they have somewhat of a horizontal. Usually you have to use your manually drawn trend lines, or what I just brought up are the heat maps. This is powerful stuff. And you can see that it coincides with the volume shelves. So this is volume weighted moving average to the right here. I use them all. It's just simple, redundant validation. That's all. And I'll even use another charting service as well. But these heat maps, you could see that in prior times shows what was support will probably be support again. If it fails, well, then we're probably coming down to this lower heat map. So a really great tool to use. along with the trend lines. Is gold still good? Yeah, I love gold. I mean, it's up today despite the dollar being strong. I don't know if it's given up those gains. It has given up some gains. I don't like the way it's closing here, but I'll put it to you this way, and this is the value of using monthly and weekly charts, not just daily charts. And I'll illustrate it for you. I did this yesterday. If you already saw this, forgive me. But for those who were not on yesterday, I'll do it again because it's just wise to do. Let's bring up, and we'll bring up, I don't think these prices have updated for today. These are as of the close yesterday. All right. So there's the US dollar, monthly time frame. Here is gold, monthly time frame. I have the name Contrarian Trader. Because I'm a contrarian does not mean I ignore the trend. I do not. That's a fool's errand. So a lot of people associate folks that are contrarians as those who ignore trends. We don't. We look for extreme levels of optimism and technical overbought conditions or oversold conditions. We see opportunity there where everybody else is overly zealous. So that's where I become a contrarian. Other ways are like this. I simply look at the monthly chart, and while, yes, gold is pulled back off the highs of the year, we put in new all-time highs versus the US dollar, which is putting in lower lows. And for those new to trading out there, you're wondering, why is he talking about the US dollar and gold? As goes gold, inversely goes the US dollar. They trade inversely of one another because gold is priced in US dollars. So you always want to know what the dollar is doing prior to getting involved with gold. So look at gold monthly time frame. It's very close to a breakout. It hit all-time highs in 2020, whereas the US dollar has hit multi-year lows in 2020, and it's only going lower. So do I still like gold? Absolutely. I think it's going a lot higher. BTBT, is it overbought? Okay. Monthly chart, 80.73. This is a high beta stock. It could stay overbought, trading above the third standard deviation Bollinger Band. Yeah, it's getting frothy, but that doesn't mean it can't go higher. Weekly chart. Yeah, this is ridiculous. You have RSI 91.62, trading above the third standard deviation Bollinger Band. The reason why I would not short this is because you have no overhead supply above. Meaning, unlike what I talked about with St. Joe, I knew that there were sellers above at, what was it, $50 a share from 2007. I knew it. I had that in my back pocket. Here, you're at what you call clear blue skies. What does that mean? That means that there's no overhead supply, no prior buyers waiting to get made whole again. So while this is very overbought, and I would not initiate a new trade, it could still go higher. RSI daily time frame, 88.29, ridiculously overbought. Can it go higher? Yes, but you're taking a tremendous amount of risk. I'd be a seller into these levels here. I'd be scaling out right now. Maybe not all of it, but make some profits real, use a trailing stop loss order, and let the market take you out. And the value of using a trailing stop loss order can be found here, back in April. Think about if you used a trailing stop loss order. You would have been stopped out. Say you've used a 5% trailing stop loss order. You would have been stopped out because that 5% mark would have triggered at 346. you would have been stopped out near the highs of the day. Not much off of them. Literally 5% off of them, depending upon your execution. And look at what you would have avoided, the sell-off. This is set to repeat yet again. Look at history on the charts to identify where your stock might be going, because this is not going to end well. Longer term, it's probably going to move up higher, but short term, this is not going to end well. I would be very, very careful. Yeah, there's a lot of bit miners out there. Mara, their time's going to come. Everything's going to take a risk at some point in time. When I was trading in the 2000s, anything with a .com in front of its name couldn't lose money. They weren't making any money, but the stocks were skyrocketing. It was the place to be. They were in vogue until the music stops. During the financial crisis, it was the home builders. They were the place to be until the music stopped. And the music's going to stop here for a while. So be careful. Manoj, how you doing, buddy? Yeah. Last I looked, it was pulling back on the day. Rallied back. Son of a gun. It's so strong. It's so strong. I will point out you have a little bit of a negative divergence going on here on Ultimate Oscillator. I don't put all that much reliance on that indicator. Support levels. Let's go to the obvious one is 19,870. Let's update this because that would mark a retrace. But I think as a matter of fact, we may get there. We may get there. This is our second consecutive month above the third standard deviation Bollinger Band in red. Let's drill down weekly chart, because it could still head up higher. The only support level I like below here where I would entertain getting long prior to that monthly support level, that breakout point level I just drew, at 19,870, I like 22,000. And we could get there in a heartbeat. Look at your RSI at 91.69. So it's very overbought. I think you're going to get a correction here fairly soon. That doesn't mean we can't head up higher first, though. Really good volume this week. On a holiday abbreviated week, I mean, this is really, really good volume. So I wouldn't fight it. I certainly wouldn't try to short it. Not yet, anyway. But there may be a time coming soon where we do. But I fear shorting it right now. I think it could still head up higher. So to answer your question, ideally 19,870, then down to that 22,000 mark. That's where I would look for support. Thank you, MacArthur. Franklin! No worries, brother. Bots? Kind of a reversal week. Great trend. Sorry, my neck is killing me. Just beware here. You have a bit of a reversal. Certainly no reason to go selling yet. I would not be a buyer here. I think that we may be seeing some selling pressure move in here. These candlesticks for the past several days are indecision bars, but there seems to be a pattern with this stock. What kind of volume? Oh, it's very thin volume. Oh, this is this is an ETF. I know Robo. I wasn't familiar with this one. It looks like it's going to come under pressure. But I think this is a sector to be in the future. I'm going to save this. Here's what I don't like. Lower highs. RSI is broken down. Price is now broken down. So you're extended here, right? You're getting lower highs. All these are telling you that the Stokes, your momentum indicators are beginning to weaken, right? And now that weakening could take place while the stock is still going up. But now you're getting price action following through. This is when you need to step back and say, okay, I'm going to avoid here. But this is one we'll keep an eye on. I like this sector. Hey, Dan. Happy New Year. Love the videos. Thank you very much. I watch them on a treadmill. Good for you. That's my commitment to myself for the new year, to be more dedicated to the gym like I was prior to COVID hitting. All right, AAL. I don't like it. I think it's going to break. Simply based upon, here, let's go to my saved charts. I don't have American Airlines? Apparently not. I should be ashamed. Let's remedy that. All right. So all the indicators are putting in lower highs. And I hate this. Lower highs with rounding tops. I despise them. And you're getting that here as well. Now, 1545 is critical support for AAL. If it fails, pretty much in a heartbeat, we're coming down to a 14 handle. You know, can it trade sideways and eventually begin to move back up? Sure. Stranger things have happened, but I'm willing to bet a nickel that we're going to roll over here and we're going to break support. And this is the same type of price action that you're seeing on, where is, ExxonMobil, which we're looking to get back in on. Same price action, rounding tops. Now we've taken out support. And we've been talking about this on Market Wrap, right? That we were looking for Exxon to possibly break support. And this includes the energy sector, the XLE. Now we're probably, day's not over yet. Maybe we'll rally back. But it looks as though we're breaking support levels here. And these cyclical names, energy, airlines, they're coming under a lot of pressure. So I would avoid these names right now. Let's take a look at how energy is doing. Same lower high price action. XLE hasn't broken support yet, but I think it's going to. And this is a perfect example of when the market sends you signals that you have on these candlesticks, they're telling you a story. Every time they rally the candlesticks, they get sold into. That is bearish price action. And I think we're going to break. So I would avoid the airlines, energy, cyclicals in general. Perhaps there may be one or two that I like. You know, the home builders. I don't know if they're coming. What is it? The X. Yeah, that's what it is. Even the home builders are coming under pressure. So I would avoid the cyclicals right now. All right, we'll leave off with NMCI. God damn it. Oh, Navios. Interesting price action here. The Dow transports are breaking out as well. What happened here? Oh, they were breaking out. They've given up gains. All right, so this is a one-off here. All right, so Navios looking good. It's a steady Eddie. Good volume, really good volume. When you see a volume like this, well above average on an abbreviated holiday week, I mean, that's telling you something. Very bullish. But very overbought. But it can go up higher. This is extremely volatile stock. So this is a cyclical, but it's doing very, very well. RSI 9165 on a weekly time frame. So just be careful. But it's probably going to continue up higher in the short term. But it's probably going to correct soon thereafter. All right. That's it, folks. Folks, thank you for joining in. Everybody have a really wonderful, healthy, happy New Year. And I really appreciate from the bottom of my heart everybody being here throughout the year. I love engaging with you folks. It's enjoyable. I know I could banter on sometimes, so thank you for bearing with me. Everybody have just a great new year. I know this one's been really, really tough on everyone, and I hope 2021 becomes a much better one. Be well.